It is my cell phone. Because it turns out that I don't have enough memory on the iPad, so I have to switch back and forth every other class period. Let's go with one. Don't make today out to be more than what it is. As I get into it, I know kids have built it up, but it's just an old person talking to you, essentially for the most part. And old people talk to you all the time. So just imagine I'm just that other random old person that's busy talking to you. And I know kids they talk about feels and emotions and stuff like that. One, I don't believe in them, so that makes it easier. Two, it hits kids in different ways, which is perfectly fine. I have kids that I finish like, I didn't feel sad at all. That's fine. Some of what I say won't apply to you. Others of you, it will apply to. And so some of you, it'll hit, and some of you, it doesn't hit. So just take it for what it is as we get into it. And it does sort of change from class period to class period. You'll have to forgive me more today than you did on the other days as far as my brain jumping around. Because as I try to figure out what I want to say to each class, and part of it sort of depends on how I feel the conversation is going. All right. Let's start with why I run my class the way I do. It was one of the reasons why I first started talking at the end of the year, was I realized that kids don't fully understand there's a reason behind everything I do in my class. It's not random. And I know at times it feels random, or it feels like I'm being petty or mean, or just trying to torture you for the sake of trying to torture you, and that's not how I am. Everything I do in my classroom is to try and make you a better person. Years ago, 17 years or so, when I first started teaching, and I know I've told you guys this before, but I thought I taught English. I thought that was the whole point of what I was doing, was trying to teach kids English, and it's not. Junior high English is not tough. It's a review of what you guys learned throughout intermediate school. It's a refinement of the skills. A lot of what you guys do in junior high is not tough. It's just a refinement of previous skills. I have some kids who are in the tough math classes or tough science classes, and you guys will get new stuff there. But a lot of junior high is not that. What junior high is supposed to be about is helping you become the best person you can be, helping you refine who you are, helping you become the right type of person that becomes the adult that you should be. And it took me years to figure that out. When I first started teaching, and I tried to stress the English part of it, and it's not the English part that's important, it's all the other stuff I do that's so much more important than the English stuff. And a lot of it is the making you guys stand in class, or giving you the slow kids section, or sometimes I have to boot you guys out to the hallway. It's never to be mean to you, it's never to be petty, and it's not even because I'm angry with you. It's because I want to make you a better person. And I'm sure your first thought is, how in the world would that make you a better person? But you have to realize it's human nature to give in to laziness. It's human nature to give in to weakness, because it's the easy way, and people like things that are easy. It's what people try to do. And so not doing homework is easy. Talking out loud when you're not supposed to is easy, because otherwise it involves self-control. It involves you being able to stop the brain from doing the stuff that it wants. And so for a lot of you, that's why making you stand comes in. I'm trying to help you break a bad habit. Your bad habit is poor choices. And so that's where the making of you stand is, to help you break it. Because if not, you're going to keep not doing homework. How do I know? Because I check your grades in other classes, and I see when you have multiple missing assignments in other classes, and the fact that other teachers don't give you repercussions for it. Their repercussion to you is to give you a 0 for the homework assignment, and I know you don't care, because it's not on your radar of what you care about. I need to find a way to make you care. I need to find a way to make this be the thing that has an impact on you. Making you stand has an impact on you, because now that's not a 0. It's something that makes you uncomfortable. It brings attention to you. For some of you, it's slightly embarrassing, and it bothers you. It's all on purpose, because I'm finding a way to apply pressure to you to get you to change whatever that bad habit is. Now, I will say, when I do it, I don't do it out of anger. And I don't make fun of you. I poke fun at you, which is different. And I tease you, which is different. But I do that out of love. And I do that from a happy place in my heart. And it's how I do most stuff in my class. When I give you a hard time, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I expect better from you. When I make you stand, and I don't say, you're a horrible child and this is what you deserve and I hope you go home and cry at night. I go, you can do better. This is not what I expect from you, and you're going to stand until you can do what I expect from you. And then the next day you get the homework done and you sit down and I tell you, this is what I know you can do. That's why I do it. It's the same thing with my slow kids section. You shouldn't get detentions in my room. You shouldn't run out of points in my room. It's easy to keep your points. And I know you look at poor Leah over here, but it's not like you guys have not spent time here too. In this class, I think we've had the highest rotation of kids that have come through there. My slow kids section serves one purpose. It's to help you realize I expect more from you. This is my way of saying I don't accept the version of you that you're putting forth in my class. I expect a higher version of this because I know that higher version is in there. Years ago, when I changed my style of teaching, it was because I slowly came to a realization. And I put quotes up there that'll help guide me a little bit. And it's that middle quote. And I found it years ago, and it had an impact on me. And what it says is the idea of kids coming from a good home. It makes our job easier. But when the kids don't come from a good home, it makes our jobs more important. And I realized that what I thought my job was of teaching English is not what my job is. My job is that of making you a better person. And too many of you do not have a person in your life making you a better person. Too many kids don't have a good home life. Even though I came from a screwed up family, I came from a good home life. Even though we had drugs and addiction and alcoholism in my family, my immediate family, my two parents, did everything they could to give me a good home life. So that's what I thought everyone's home life was like growing up, except for the fact that my grandparents were alcoholics, and I thought every kid had alcoholic grandparents until I got much older. It's what I assumed every kid went through, especially teaching here in Fishers. I assumed every kid came from a family where you have two parents at home that are very supportive and tell you that they love you every night when you come home, and tell you that you did a good job and they make you do your homework. Because that's what kids are supposed to have. When you're 13 and 14 years old, that's what life is supposed to be. You're not supposed to have parents that yell at each other. You're not supposed to have parents that get divorced and put you in the middle of it. You're not supposed to have parents that have alcohol and drug problems and addiction issues. You're not supposed to have the problems where you're 13 and 14 and you're homeless, which we have here at school. We have kids who are homeless, who literally live in a car or live in a hotel. And I don't think school's important to them. And I understand that. And I don't think a lot of teachers do, or I don't think a lot of teachers care, which is wrong. But there's a difference between having that kind of home life where things are not the way they're supposed to be, and letting that home life control you, letting that home life predict who you're going to be. Because I have two groups of kids that I realize I'm talking to. The first group of kids are the ones who realize I'm talking about them, who realize that that bad home life is their home, that their parents don't get along, or the fact that their parents aren't home at night, and the fact that they have to raise siblings by themselves. They cook dinner, and the fact that there isn't time for homework because they're busy taking care of the family the entire time, or the fact that their parents spend every waking moment yelling at them, or you come home and your parents don't tell you that they love you, and the fact that they think that the world is perfect. And those kids understand that my words are aimed at them. Then I have another group of kids who don't. Those kids come from a good home life, who they have two parents at home, and they have the two parents that support them. And I have messages for both of those groups. One, if you have the parents at home that support you the way they're supposed to, if you have the parents at home who don't put the extra stress on you, who make you feel loved and make you feel comfortable, you have to realize that's a gift that not every kid has. And I'm not saying that you should cherish it every moment. What I'm saying is you need to realize the kids you sit in class with, not every kid has that. Unfortunately, now, most kids don't have that. It is no longer the majority of children. It is the minority of children who have that. If that's you, that's good. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to not judge the other kids. And I know it's not easy, because those are the kids that bully, because those are the kids that are angry in class, those are the kids that get themselves kicked out, those are the kids that don't do their homework, those are the kids that you look at and you go, how can you do that? They can do that because the anger and the pain and the hurt that is inside of them is a level that you'll never understand. So I ask of you is to not judge them, to instead be nice to them when they don't deserve to be nice to. Be a friend to them when they don't deserve to have a friend, because that's what they need. They don't need another person in their life being mean to them. They don't need another person in their life judging them. They need someone instead to smile at them. They need a person to not react to their words and see beyond it, which is what I try to do in class. Because I see that in you guys. And I know not all of you guys talk to me, which is absolutely fine. But I've taught long enough that I can see it. There's things I see in you. There's things I see in your behavior. There's signs that I can tell when there's outside issues. And I don't always get them right. There's sometimes I think kids have that home life and I'm wrong. And there's other kids who I think have the great home life and I'm wrong. But I'm accurate often enough. But that's also why I make you stand. It's why I make you go to the slow kids section. Because what kids need is an adult telling them, I expect more from you. That I know you can do better. That this version of you that you are putting out there is not the best version of you that can be there. And I realized years ago, for many kids, that's what I do. I'm that adult that tells you that. I'm that adult that says, you doing homework is not acceptable. You talking out loud all the time, that's not how people behave. You losing all of your points and being okay with it, I expect more from you. And the reason is, I do. You guys are good kids. You make poor choices. Some of you have rough home lives, but you're good kids. And so I expect that from you. And so what this year has been is me telling you that. But not in so many words. It's not me telling you that. But I know you feel it here because you have no choice. Because when I make you stand, when I move you, I don't do it out of anger and I don't do it out of hatred. And whenever you do the things I want you to do, you can tell that I'm saying, good job. I'm proud of you. Because I am. I serve different roles for different kids, which is something else I've learned over the years. For some kids, my room is just a place of happiness and smiliness. And you get to come in here and you have someone who's entertaining and friendly and outgoing. And it's that place where you're surrounded by 6 other teachers all day who don't seem to enjoy life and make the day kind of a drudge. And you get to come in here and it's that high point. And I understand that. And for you, I'm absolutely happy to be that person. I'm happy to be that happy, friendly person that made you enjoy class. For others of you, I'm the one that made you realize that you can do something. And the fact that you don't have to get an F in class. And the fact that you can do well in the class. Because I have kids who fail. I look at your report cards and I see kids who have all Fs and then a C in my class. And I understand it's because I made you turn in your work. I made it so that I did not accept an F for you. And I look at your report cards because it's what I do, and I see that. And for you, that's the role I am. For others of you, I'm an adult that smiles at you. And I am the only adult the entire day who's not a jerk to you, because you go home and your parents are not good people. And in classes, you annoy the teachers and they're not nice to you. And so for you, you need something different from me. You need me to be nice to you, and you need me to smile at you, and you need me to forgive you when you make choices that you shouldn't make, because you don't have enough people in your life who are doing that. And for others of you, I've served a different role, which is someone to talk to, because I realize for some of you, when you have home life issues or you have friend issues, you have no one to turn to, because you can't talk to your parents because they're the problem, or you can't talk to friends because they're the problem. And when you have parents you can't talk to and friends you can't talk to, and you have that welling up of grief and pain and anger and fear that's inside of you, and you don't know where to turn, I've had kids who turn to me. Because one of the things I don't do is judge. And I won't judge you, ever. Regardless of the choices you make in life. And some of you will make poor choices, because that's how life is. And some of you are on that path where you have to make the choices that I made. Regardless of me saying, I don't want you to make those choices, you're still going to make them. When you make those choices, the reason I told you my stories is I wanted you to see my darkness and realize I recovered from it. And the fact that I could still become the person that you see up here. So when you make those choices, I want you to realize that you can pull through. And the fact that if there is ever someone that you need to help you understand that you can pull through, I'll be here. And my door will always be open to you. Even if you're a kid that you think I hated you and I yelled at you all the time, I don't. I don't hate any of you. I don't even dislike any of you. Or if you think you're that quiet kid and you and I never had a connection and never had a bond and never talked, trust me, I still thought about you every day. I did my best to talk to you when I could, and I could get you to react to me. And if you come back and talk to me, if you come back and knock on my door one day after school, my door's still open to you. And I'll be more than happy to hear about all the wonderful things you've done. Or I'll be happy to hear about all the not so wonderful things that you've done. Regardless, either way, I'll be the person that's there to listen when you need to talk. One of the scary things that I've learned in my teaching is you need someone in your life to yell at you, which sounds weird. And I know you guys have friends who seem to live a perfect life because they don't turn in homework and their parents don't yell at them. They stay out late on the weekends and their parents don't yell at them. They do things that would get you in trouble and their parents don't yell at them. And that seems to be the perfect life of what you would want. It is not. Everybody needs someone to yell at them. And the reason why you need someone to yell at you is because people don't yell at you unless they care about you on some level. You need someone who tells you that you are not doing what you're supposed to. And that's supposed to be a parent that tells you you're not doing what you're supposed to. That says you can't stay out late, you can't sneak out, that if you get caught drinking or you get caught smoking, that this is not what happens in my household. That when you're not turning in homework, they say this is not okay. This is not what we do. Because that yelling at you lets you know that someone expects more from you. The scariest thing in life, and I have too many kids who are in this place, is when you don't have someone yelling at you. Is when you make those poor choices, when you don't do homework, when you're out late, when you're caught drinking or you're caught smoking, and no one yells at you, it means there's not someone there to care. It means there's not someone there that says, I expect better of you. Which is fun until you think about it and the sadness that comes from that. And I have kids who are in that place, which is why for me, in my room, the making of you stand, the going to the slow kids section, that's my yelling at you. That's my telling you that I expect better from you. And I will always be happy to yell at you. Whether it's 8th grade, whether it's high school, when you come back, and if you have those parents that are not yelling at you, you can come back and I will let you know that I still have high expectations for you. And even though I don't judge, I will let you know that some of the choices you've made, you can do better than that. A couple of reasons why I do this talk this week. One, I can't start the year with it because I've not earned your trust, which is why I wait till the end of the year, which is why other teachers having this talk with you wouldn't have the same impact. But also, this is my last time to really talk to you, my last time to have an impact on you. Tomorrow we'll talk, but tomorrow will be much more upbeat. I'll try to make you laugh on the way out because I figure I'll try to leave you with a happy memory. But also, from talking to my past 8th graders who come back and see me, and talking to my high schoolers who come back to see me, 7th grade, your last time of innocence for most of you. Things are going to change from 7th grade to 8th grade. For almost every single kid, 8th grade is where your eyes are opened. In 7th grade, you're still a year away from recess and from being kids and playing. And in 8th grade, you're a year away from high school. And if you are currently a 7th grader and you don't know kids who smoke, who drink on the weekends, if you don't know a kid who is currently smoking pot or has access to pot, you will by the time you're this time in 8th grade. It happens. You are going to know those people. By the time you're a freshman, it is going to be one of your friends. By the time you reach the end of your freshman year, it'll be someone close to you, someone that you know personally will make that choice. So I realized this was my last time to talk to you before sending you off into the world. And that's where I realized too many parents see you guys as little kids. They still see you as their little babies, which is their right to do. But I see you as the kids who come back to talk to me. I see paths in front of you, every single one of you. I've taught long enough that I can see the kids that I want you to become, and I can see the kids I fear you might become. Because I have the kids who make good choices and the kids who make poor choices come back and talk to me in high school. And I don't know which path you're going to go on, because I can't make that decision. Only you can make that decision. I don't know if you're going to be the kid that comes back to me and says, Mr. Broviak, you know how I was a slow kid and I didn't get anything higher than a C in your class and you always had to yell at me and I had no B points. I'm like, yeah. And then you come back and let me know that you have all A's in high school. It happens. And it is so wonderful when kids come back and tell me that. And I never know which kid it is. But I also have those kids who were my A students and did everything I thought was perfect. And they get to high school, and then they start smoking. They get into pot, they start drinking on the weekends, and the home life becomes overwhelming for them, and they go a completely different direction. This even happened to my students of the year, when I picked those kids that I think could never go down that path. I've had my students of the year go down that path, which is sad, but it happens. So, with that, what I want you to do as we go forward and you guys think about this is the paths that are in front of you. And it gets even tougher for my 8th graders when I see you guys in here, because I know you're farther along some of those paths than my 7th graders were. And I know kids talk. And a lot of my 8th graders come back and talk to me. And I hear all the rumors that go through. And I know more information than I should. And I know some of the paths that kids are on. And what you have to realize is it hurts me. Because here's what happens. You can't ask a person, a teacher, a human, to like you and not expect them to care about you, because they go hand in hand. So here's what's happened this year. You've gotten me to like you. If I like you, I care about you. It's what happens. I can't not care about you. And if you can imagine, there's someone that you care about, and you like this person, and you see the fact that in front of them, they're going to make a choice that's going to ruin their life. That is going to be something that is going to drastically change who they are. You want to do everything you can to stop this person you care about from making that choice. That's where I am right now, because I see choices in front of some of you. I know the friends you hang out with. I know the things some of you do. And I know what's coming down the path. And I don't want what's on that path for you. But I can't make that decision. I can't make that choice. Only you can make that choice. And that's what scares me. I've done everything I can to give you the tools to hope that you make those choices. But I don't know what choices you are going to make when you leave this building and you don't get a chance to see me at all. And you go on to the high school and I just become this faint memory of a teacher in the past. How much my words will still have impact on you. And for some of you, they have no impact or very little impact. And that's fine. It's your choice. For others of you, the words hit a lot harder. And for some of you, my words won't hit until much, much later. But as you go down that path, if you ever need reassured with the choices you're making, if you ever need that person in your corner to let you know once again how much you mean to them, let me know. And I'll be happy to do it. Whether it's just the talking in the hallway, whether it's sending me a message, or whether it's coming back when you're in high school. I really do want the best for you. And I don't want you guys to be the kids that come back and tell me that you dropped out when you're 16, because I've had too many kids do that. Or the kid that comes back to let me know that you're only in school to graduate, and then you plan on spending after that smoking pot and not doing anything with your life. Because I have kids who come back and tell me that. It's both good and bad that I have kids come back and are so open with me and tell me so much about their life. Because I don't judge, but I won't ever tell you it doesn't hurt, because it does. Because I want the best for you, and I want you guys. And I know you're just in 7th grade, and the idea of the future and graduation is so far away for you. Even for my 8th graders, high school, you're just starting. The last thing you guys think about is graduating. But for me, I just got done writing my open house letters for my seniors that are graduating. And they were in my class just the other day. It goes by so quickly. I know you hear old people say that. And you'll cherish every moment of it, but it's just on that path, there are so many choices in front of you. And I just want you to make the right ones. In a more positive note, I want to pass along something I think you guys can accomplish and something I want from you. I didn't used to be a happy person. I didn't used to be an outgoing person. I used to be the shy, quiet kid that sat in the back room and didn't talk to anyone else. And I spent my entire junior high years trying to be popular and doing everything I could to hang out with the popular kids, because I believed in my heart that popularity would make me happy, because I'd never been that kid. And so I ditched friends, I made poor choices, and I did everything I could to get into the popular group. And I still remember to this day regretting some of my choices. I had a friend, John Montgomery, who I was friends with in junior high when I was trying to become popular. And I didn't think John was popular because he was happy with who he was, and he was not trying to hang out with the popular kids. And so I decided to stop hanging out with John because he wasn't going to get me with the group of kids I wanted to be with. And so I decided to just stop. He didn't do anything wrong. I just one day decided that being with him was holding me back. And so one day he called to play in 7th or 8th grade. He wanted to hang out, and I made my brother answer the phone because I knew John would be calling, and I was in the process of cutting John out, and John didn't like it. And so John kept trying to talk to me at school, and I would avoid him. And so I knew he was going to call eventually. And so I made my brother answer the phone. My brother's 2 years younger than me and looked up to me. And I made my brother Nick answer it. And it was John. And my brother was like, "Hey, it's John." And I said, "Tell him I can't answer the phone because I'm busy." And I remember the look on my brother's face when he looked at me. And he goes, "What?" I go, "I can't come to the phone. I'm busy." And he goes, "You're not." And I go, "Just tell him." And the look of confusion and heartache in my brother's eyes when he looked at me still haunts me to this day. And the fact that I cut John out of my life for that. And there was no going back. Later I regretted it, but John never became friends with me again. He became friends with my friends, but he would never talk to me. And I don't blame him for that. And it's 30 years later, and it's still something that haunts me and I feel bad about. And I remember sitting on the bus one day, listening to these two girls in front of me talk because they were super popular, and I was creepily listening to their conversation because I figured if I could listen to what the popular kids said, I would know how to talk also, and so I would know what to say. And so I was listening to them talk, and they weren't nice. They were saying horrible things about other people. And as I listened to them, I had an epiphany. It's a fancy word for a moment in your life when you see clarity and things change. And my epiphany was, I didn't like these people. They weren't good people. They were awful people. And this is who I was giving up my friends to be with. I was cutting out people who liked me to be with people that didn't even deserve me. And I decided to change who I was. And I did. I became a happier person. And I decided that it would be by choice. And I realized over the next couple of years, confidence is a choice. I know I come across as a very happy and a very confident person and very self-assured, but it's by choice. I choose the path that I'm on, and I chose the path of confidence. And as dumb as it sounds, it's as simple as that. It is a choice. There are no confident people in this world. Everyone has insecurities. Everyone worries about what other people think about them. I don't care how popular a person you can imagine in your head, who you can think of as the most popular kid in school, because I have those kids come back and talk to me, and they come back to my room, and we talk about life and their insecurities, and there is no kid that is that confident. What there are people who are happy with themselves, people who have decided that who they are is who they want to be. And that's what junior high is. That's what I want you to do.